quiet before the storm. You were standing with a heartbeat, too wild to ever be ignored. And every step we took was thunder, every glance was gasoline. I didn't know that falling for you would rewrite everything. I used to run from fire, I used to fear the spark, but loving you lit up the corners of my once unguarded heart. 'Cause this love is louder than every shadow I've known, a rising sun breaking through the undertow. We're a wildfire burning brighter than the fall, and every mistake we made still led us to it all. If every road was leading somewhere after all, then maybe love was never late. Maybe this is grace. I learned that the truth is steady, even when the world is not. You taught me that the bravest hearts are the ones that love a lot. And all the nights we stood in silence were the nights we stood our ground. Two fragile souls who kept on fighting till the light came back around. I used to break so easy, I used to hide the fall, but loving you rebuilt the places I thought couldn't heal at all. 'Cause this love is louder than every shadow I've known, a rising sun breaking through the undertow. We're a wildfire burning brighter than the fall, and every mistake we made still led us to it all. If every road was leading somewhere after all, then maybe love was never late. Maybe this is grace. We're running through the open night, no fear left in our veins. If love can break and still survive, and if the world should close its doors, we'll tear them down again. 'Cause loving you was worth the war and worth the wounded end. This love is louder than every shadow I've known, a rising sun breaking through the undertow. We're a wildfire burning brighter than the fall, and every broken piece still led us to it all. If every road was meant to bring us to this place, then maybe love was always grace. Ah, 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 ah. We were standing in the hallway, talking like two strangers do. Every word felt like a landmine. I was scared of falling into you. You were laughing at the ceiling, but your eyes were saying stay. Funny Funny how the quiet moments always give our hearts away. Maybe we were too young to notice what was written in the lines, but every pause and every silence felt like something undefined. And this is one of the chapters we forgot, where we slipped through the pages we never thought we'd lose. We were close, but we were tangled in the knots of the fears we never learned how to undo. If we could rewrite the moments that we missed, maybe we'd underline the places we belong. But this is one of the chapters we forgot, and somehow it still feels wrong. Kept telling all my friends that we were better off this way, but the truth kept pulling corners of my heart back to your name. I was hiding in the laughter, you were hiding in your pride. Two people searching for an answer while pretending we were fine. Maybe we were too scared to say it. What we wanted wasn't clear. Maybe all the unsaid feelings are the things that kept us here. And this is one of the chapters we forgot, where we slipped through the pages we never thought we'd lose. We were close, but we were tangled in the knots of the fears we never learned how to undo. If we could rewrite the moments that we missed, maybe we'd underline the places we belong. But this is one of the chapters we forgot, and somehow it still feels wrong. Maybe someday we'll run into each other in a city far from who we used to be. And maybe then we'll laugh about the silence that kept us from saying what we needed truthfully. But if time rewinds for us only once, I hope we finally speak. 'Cause this was one of the chapters we forgot, but it's one I keep rereading when the nights are long. If we could rewrite the places we got lost, maybe this time the ending wouldn't feel so wrong. If we could turn back to the moments we dismissed, maybe you and I would finally feel enough. But this is one of the chapters we forgot, and maybe that was love. You were standing in the doorway, saying words you didn't mean. All your promises were faded, like a picture losing green. I kept waiting for the moment you would look at me and stay, but you kept glancing at the clock like you had somewhere else to be today. I held on to every heartbeat like it could bring you back around, but love can't fix the silence when it's louder than the sound. Did you mean it when you told me I was everything you'd ever need? 'Cause it feels like all the pieces fall apart every time you breathe. You were here and then you vanished like a storm that never warned me. thinking maybe I could stay, but you were searching for an exit long before the day you walked away. And I replay every moment, wonder which line pushed you out. But loving someone breaking feels like drowning in your doubt. Did you mean it when you told me I was everything you'd ever need? 'Cause it feels like all the pieces fall apart every time you breathe. You were here and then you vanished like a storm that never warned me. And I'm left here asking honestly, did you mean it? Or were you only trying to soothe me? Maybe you were scared to love him, maybe I was scared to lose. But we both kept pretending like we ever got to choose. If forever had a warning, I wish I'd heard it then. Maybe I wouldn't be standing here waiting for you again. Did you mean it when you told me I was something you would never leave? 'Cause the echo of your promise still keeps breaking inside me. You were here and then you vanished like a truth you couldn't carry. And I'm done with asking honestly if you meant it. 'Cause now I know you did
I was walking through the days on my own. Same old streets, same radio songs. Never thought my heart could learn something new, till the world slowed down when I met you.
You said hello like it meant something more, like you already knew what I was waiting for.
Every second felt softer somehow,
like the noise disappeared right now.
I didn't see it coming, didn't plan the turn, but something in your eyes made my quiet heart learn. From that moment on, everything changed. The way I breathe, the way I say your name. Colors got brighter, nights feel warm. From that moment on, everything changed. I didn't need fireworks or signs in the sky, just your hand fitting perfectly in mine. Nothing looks the same, nothing feels wrong. From that moment on, I was fine with the life that I knew, counting time, just passing it through. Then you laughed and the future felt close, like a door I didn't know I'd opened before.
Now the smallest things mean everything. Coffee cups, late night talking. Every ordinary day feels new.
Just because it's me and you. I didn't ask for magic, didn't need a plan, but love showed up quietly and took my hand. From that moment on, everything changed. The way I see the rain fall on the pavement, every step forward feels like home. From that moment on, everything changed. I didn't need promises written in stone, just knowing I don't walk alone. Nothing looks the same, nothing feels wrong. From that moment on, maybe it's simple, maybe it's true. Sometimes a lifetime starts with high from you. From that moment on,
Everything changed, not in the loud ways, but the quiet ways. The kind of love that slowly grows.
from that moment on, and if the world keeps spinning fast, I know where my heart will land.
Nothing looks the same, nothing feels wrong.
From that moment on, yeah, from that moment on,
I was never the same. Hey, daddy, 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 daddy. Hey, daydream boy, I see you walking down the hallway. Lost inside your thoughts again, like every single Monday. And I pretend I'm busy just to watch you pass me by. You've got that quiet magic that I never can deny. I know you don't see the way I look at you, but someday maybe you will. 'Cause every time you smile, my world stands still. Oh boy, you got my heartbeat trying to outrun me like it's dancing to a song you don't even know you sing. And I keep hoping maybe, just maybe, you turn around and see me too. 'Cause every little thing you do feels like a reason to believe in something new. Yeah, hey, daydream boy, I think I'm falling for you. You've got that kind of laugh that feels like sunlight on a Sunday. And I rehearse my words but lose them all when you look my way. I'm tripping on my feelings like they caught me by surprise. Trying not to let the truth show clearly in my eyes. Maybe someday I'll finally say it out loud, but for now I'm keeping it cool. 'Cause falling for you breaks all my rules. Oh boy, you got my heartbeat trying think I'm falling for you. Maybe we're just pages waiting for a story. Maybe we're a melody that's learning how to rhyme. And if the universe is listening to this heartbeat, I hope it sends you right to mine. Oh boy, my heartbeat's still trying to outrun me, chasing every little moment like it's something meant to be. And I keep hoping, maybe, just maybe, you'll turn around and see me too. 'Cause every little thing you do feels like a reason to believe in something true. Yeah, hey, daydream boy, I think I'm falling for you. The wind is whispering slowly through the cracks along the door, and the night is falling softly, like it's been here once before. I can hear the world unravel, every heartbeat sounds so loud. But your shadow on my shoulder feels like shelter from the sound. And I know we've walked through thunder, I know fear can linger long. But somehow in this fragile moment, I can almost feel we're strong. So hold the quiet close, let the darkness lose its way. You don't have to stand alone, I'm not going anywhere today. If the world begins to tremble, if the night forgets the dawn, I'll be here to keep us steady till the shaking's finally gone. There's a lantern on the table, casting gold across your hands, and it flickers like it's telling us it somehow understands every scar you keep in silence, every truth you couldn't share. You can lay them down beside me, I'll be gentle with your care. And I know the past can echo like a ghost that won't let go, but we're learning how to breathe again, soft and steady, warm and slow. So hold the quiet close, let the darkness lose its way. You don't have to stand alone, I'm not going anywhere today. If the world begins to tremble, if the night forgets the dawn, I'll be here to keep us steady till the shaking's finally gone. Maybe hope is just a whisper floating somewhere in the cold, but if you reach for me tonight, promise I won't let go. We can wait out every echo, let the fear fade into light. You and I, a simple promise in the quiet of the night. So hold the quiet close, let the darkness lose its way. Even storms will someday settle, even hurt will drift away. If the world begins to tremble, if your heart feels tired and worn, I'll be here to keep you steady until every shadow's gone. Stay with me, stay quiet now. We're safe here, safe somehow. I still remember how the sunrise used to spill across your face, and every quiet morning with you felt like a safer place. But I was running from the feeling, always scared of letting go. I didn't see the way you trembled when you told me you loved me so. I should have held you closer, I should have stayed that night. But every truth comes slower when you've blinded all the light. So here I am in late November, trying to tell you what I never said. I'm still losing sleep, remembering everything I pushed away instead. If I could turn the time back over, I'd choose you every single time. But all I have is late November and the echo of you were mine. Your sweater's in the bottom drawer, I swear I never meant to keep, but somehow holding on to pieces is the only way my heart can breathe. I hope you found a kinder sunrise, I hope you learned to smile again. I'm standing in the wreck I built, wishing I could call you home again. If healing had an answer, I'd whisper it to you. But love becomes a stranger when you've broken it in two. So here I am in late November, trying to tell you what I never said. I'm still losing sleep, remembering every word I should have sung instead. If I could turn the time back over, I'd choose you every single time. But all I have is late November and the echo of you were mine. And maybe you won't ever hear this, and maybe that's the price I pay for loving you in silence when all you needed was for me to So here I am in late November, hoping somehow you'll remember me. I'm still learning how to live without the future we were meant to be. If I could write our story over, I'd underline your name with mine. But all I have is late November and the memories I can't rewind. I miss you more than I can measure. Back to you in late November.
I used to paint you in silver light, like every wrong could turn to right. I held your promises like petals pressed inside a book of mine. But every page kept growing heavier. Ink was bleeding through my hands. I tried to read between the lines, but I just couldn't understand. I kept waiting for the moment you'd finally choose me first. But holding on to broken hope only makes the truth hurt worse. 'Cause this is my porcelain heart, cracking in the quiet after all the noise is gone. I thought love would pull me back, but sometimes letting go is how you learn to carry on. I'm standing in the mirror now, learning who I am without the part where you swore we'd never fall apart. This is my porcelain heart. I used to chase your fading footprints, tracing dreams you never kept, trying to fix the things you shattered with the pieces that you left. And I forgave 1,000 maybes and the truth you never said. But loving someone in the dark only keeps you breaking in your head. I kept waiting for a fairy tale to come and lift me from the pain.
Here's to my porcelain heart, breaking just enough to let the light come through again. I thought loving you was forever, but forever doesn't start with learning how to bend. I'm standing in the mirror now, finding strength in every missing part. And maybe healing is an art, shaping my porcelain heart. The room is still and quiet, coffee warming in your hands. Sunlight sneaks across the hardwood like it's touching us on purpose again. Your laughter's in the corners like it's lived here longer than we have. Funny how the smallest moments are the ones that seem to last. I don't need 1,000 fireworks or a night that feels brand new. Just these quiet little mornings where the world feels soft with you. 'Cause I'll stay for all the quiet mornings, for the days we whisper our dreams half awake. I'll stay for every ordinary moment, every promise made in the time we take. Even when the seasons start changing and the colors fade without warning, I'll stay for all our quiet mornings. We talk about tomorrows like they're postcards on the sill. You say life feels like a wild thing, I say somehow you make it still. Your jacket on the doorway, your shoes beside the bed. The life we built in small things says more than big words ever said. Some people want a louder love, but that's never been our truth. Ours is stitched in folded blankets, and the kindness between me and you. And I'll stay for all the quiet mornings, for the days we whisper our dreams half awake. I'll stay for every ordinary moment, every promise made in the time we take. Even when the seasons start changing and the colors fade without warning, I'll stay for all our quiet mornings. If the world gets loud around us and the noise begins to rise, we'll find refuge in the corners where your hand fits into mine. And if everything gets heavy and we forget what we I saw you standing by the doorway, like a ghost I used to know. You were tracing every memory in the cracks along the floor. And I kept pretending I was fine, like the fault was never mine. But the truth kept shaking in my hands like a warning I ignored. I know we try to hold on to a love that lost its name, but every time we reach for light, we only fed the flame. Now we're living on these silent borders, where the words don't cross like they did before. I'm standing here, but you feel further, like a locked, forgotten door. And I keep wishing we had spoken before the quiet turned to war. Now we're living on these silent borders, and I can't reach you anymore. You said love is not a courtroom, but we kept choosing sides. Every promise felt like verdicts. We were scared to testify. And I tried to build a home in you, but the walls were made of fear. Every time I walked toward your voice, it grew harder just to hear. Maybe we were both unraveling in the hurt we never named. Maybe silence was the ending. Neither one of us could change. Now we're living on these silent borders, where the words don't cross like they did before. I'm standing here, but you feel further, like a locked, forgotten door. And I keep wishing we had spoken before the quiet turned to war. Now we're living on these silent borders, and I can't reach you anymore. And I know you saw the warning signs, the storms beneath my calm replies. I know I let you fade in pieces every time I turn my eyes. But if love was never meant to end, why does goodbye feel like truth? Tell me why the hardest distance is the space between me and you. 'Cause we're living on these silent borders, drawing lines we never meant to draw. You're a memory getting colder, but the hurt is burning raw. If I could break through all the silence, I'd rewrite what came before. But we're living on these silent borders. can't reach you anymore.
I used to walk with my head down, counting all the heartbreaks on the ground. Every step felt like a question, with no answer to be found. Then you came in like a whisper, soft as early morning light. Didn't say a word at first, but somehow everything felt right. And I didn't think that I could feel this warm again. But you're the quiet proof that healing doesn't have to hurt to begin. 'Cause you feel like something like morning, soft and golden, breaking through the gray. You're the reason I stopped running from the pieces of my yesterday. I never knew that hope could sound like laughter. I forgot to let in, but here you are, and here I am, letting myself begin again. I used to fold in the shadows, trying not to take up space. But you smile at me like I'm sunlight, filling every empty place. You don't ask me for the stories of the ones who let me fall. You just hold my present gently, like it's more than enough after all. And I didn't think that love could ever be this kind. But you're the quiet change that tells me I don't have to hide. 'Cause you feel like something like morning, soft and golden, breaking through the gray. You're the reason I stopped running from the pieces of my yesterday. I never knew that hope could sound like laughter. I forgot to let in, but here you are, and here I am, letting myself begin again. And maybe we're just learning how to trust the gentle things, how every broken winter still remembers how to bloom in spring. If timing is a language, then somehow yours fits mine. You showed up like a promise, arriving right on time. 'Cause you feel
were sunlight on my shoulder, I was water on your skin. Every moment felt like summer, fading gently as it begins. We were dancing around the feelings that we never learned to name, caught between a truth unspoken and the warmth we couldn't tame. I still hear the ocean breathing in the spaces you once filled. Funny how the softest memories are the hardest to stay still. Somewhere in the summer we were gold and we were free, but every promise turned to vapor when the wind pulled you from me. I keep holding on to shadows of the days I can't replace. Somewhere in the summer lives the ghost of your embrace. You were always chasing sunsets, I kept waiting for the rain. You believed in happy endings, I believed in what remained. I still taste the salted sweetness of the laughter that we lost. Every yes we almost whispered got undone by what it cost. And the sky keeps turning, honey, every time I hear your name. Isn't it a kind of mercy that we're different yet the same? Somewhere in the summer we were gold and we were free, but every promise turned to vapor when the wind pulled you from me. I keep holding on to shadows of the days I can't replace. Somewhere in the summer lives the ghost of your embrace. Maybe in another season we'd have learned to make it last, but some stories find their meaning in the way they came and passed. And if time were kind enough to let our hearts rewind a bit, I would run toward you smiling, knowing how the ending hits. Somewhere in the summer you're still laughing next to me, and the world is soft and open like it once was meant to be. I keep playing back the moments just to see your hidden grace. Somewhere in the summer I can almost touch your face. I remember what you gave me, even if it wasn't mine. Somewhere in the summer we were perfect for a time.
You were wildfire in the summer, burning bright in everything. I was paper in your sunlight, learning how a heart can sing. We were dancing in the open, chasing storms without a name, never knowing all the lightning would rewrite the way we changed. I still see us on that highway, hands out in the pouring rain. Funny how the brightest moments leave the deepest kind of stain. 'Cause loving you is golden in the morning, falling fast
became. I still keep that faded sweater, smells like honesty and youth. You were always chasing answers, I was scared to say the truth. We were standing at the crossroads, both afraid of choosing wrong, but the colors in our silence were louder than our favorite song. I still replay every memory like a record spinning slow, trying to hold on to a feeling that wasn't mine to let go. 'Cause loving you was golden in the morning, falling fast like autumn leaves at night. You were every shade of hope I painted on the canvas of a life not done right. And even now I feel the colors fading, but they echo when I whisper your name. Maybe love is just a moment we can't tame, but I remember every color we became. Maybe someday when the timing's softer, we'll look back and finally understand why the brightest love can break us open, why the strongest hearts can't always stand. But if the world should ever bring you nearer, and you see me in a quiet place, I'll still smile at all the colors that time could never erase. 'Cause loving you was golden in the morning, crashing wild like summer storms at night. You were every shade of hope I painted when my world was running out of light. And even if our fire's slowly fading, your memory burns gently all the same. Maybe love is just a story with no name, but I'll remember every color we became. Funny how the little moments find their way into my mind, like the worn out map you folded on the day you left your town behind. I was living in my chaos, you were chasing something new, but somehow every crooked step was leading me to you. And I didn't see it then, how every detour shaped the view. But now I look back at the lines, and all I see is you. Was it a thread of light pulling us through the dark? Was it the quiet hope written somewhere in our hearts? All the roads we walked alone were softly tying into one. Maybe every lonely night was just a thread of light leading me where you'd begun. Told me how the seasons changed you, how you learned to let things go. I said heartbreak was a teacher I never wanted but needed so. And we laughed about our timing, how the world had other plans, two stories written separately that somehow still made sense. And isn't it strange to think we were learning how to bend, not knowing somewhere down the line our crooked edges would blend?
Was it a thread of light pulling us through the dark? Was it the quiet hope written somewhere in our hearts? All the roads we walked alone were softly tying into one. Maybe every lonely night was just a thread of light leading me where you'd begun. Maybe destiny is quieter than all the movies ever say. Maybe it's the gentle feeling that you're finally on your way. And if I trace the path behind me, every memory aligns. Every shadow, every heartbreak was a lantern in disguise. So here's to the thread of light pulling us through the dark, to the tiny signs we missed but still carried in our hearts. All the moments stitched in gold are now the story we became. Maybe love was always there, softly leading me to your name. Funny how the little moments finally start to shine when you realize all along they were pulling you to mine. We were running through the quiet streets, laughing like we owned the night. Your jacket wrapped around my shoulders like you were holding on too tight. Every small and fragile moment felt like pages in a book we wrote. I kept every line you whispered, like a promise folded in your coat. But time has a way of turning golden things into goodbye. And I didn't see it coming, how we broke without a fight. There were postcards on your window, dreams you never let me read. I kept hoping you would trust me with the parts you didn't want to see. You said love was something fragile, like a photograph that fades with time. Guess you never planned to keep me in the frame where you kept your pride. And I tried to hold the pieces
but you let them fall instead. Funny how we shared a future, but not the words we never said. 'Cause we were almost forever, standing on the edge of fate. I was trying to pull you closer, you were learning how to walk away. And I still replay the moments where our hearts were trying to stay. Yeah, we were almost forever, but almost wasn't enough that day. Maybe in another lifetime you'd have stayed and held on tight. Maybe love was never broken, just the timing wasn't right. I still see us in the mirror, two reflections drifting apart. You kept pieces of my laughter, I kept shadows of your heart. 'Cause we were almost forever, and God, it felt so real to me. But you can't build something lasting when one love stands and one love leaves. So I'll fold away the memories like a letter I can't send. Yeah, we were almost forever, but almost is where we end. Still, I hope the world is gentle when you're walking through the night. 'Cause even after all the heartbreak, you were once my favorite light. You found me on a quiet morning, half asleep and tangled in all the memories I kept folded like a sweater wearing thin. You traced the lines along my heartbeat, said it sounded just like rain falling soft across a window where I used to write your name. And I didn't know that pieces of a past could feel this warm, till you held the quiet moments like a lighthouse in a storm. 'Cause you were the one who understood every worn out page I couldn't show. You read between the lines I wrote in crooked, found the part of me I thought I'd lost below. And if the world had taken everything I'd hidden, you still would have known me anyway. Like a song I'd long forgotten, but remembered when you stayed. Your footsteps echoed in the hallway where we used to dance at night. Two silhouettes on aging floorboards, trying not to hold too tight. I wore the truth like old confession, you wore patience like a crown. We were fragile as the shadows, but you never put me down. Funny how the softest voices are the ones that never Yours still lingers in the corners of the promises we made. 'Cause you were the one who understood every worn out page I couldn't show. You read between the lines I wrote in crooked, found the part of me I thought I'd lost below. And if the world had taken everything I'd hidden, you still would have known me anyway. Like a song I'd long forgotten, but remembered when you stayed. And maybe time will fold the edges of the moments we outgrew, but I'll keep the quiet magic of the nights I spend with you. If I wander past December, feeling lost along the way, I'll recall the gentle wonder of the voice that made me stay. 'Cause you were the one who understood every worn out page I couldn't show. You held my shaken stories like a promise, turned the broken lines